Hmm.
Okay, it should be live on Twitch now. I had to put in some details, but it should be live now.
Hello. We are
Hello,
back.
hello.
I'm spreading the word.
What do you mean I'm back?
Well, I'm trying to do the intro.
Okay. Sorry. I am a little bit out of it today. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Both of us are out of it, TBH. So.
In great news, I have been suspended from Twitter, and I do not know why. And it's been over, well, it's been nearly 2 weeks now. And so we're trying to figure out what has happened in the meantime. But hello and welcome. Welcome
Mari
to
still plays. We are still playing.
yes. I'm Mari Still Plays. This is Creatrix Tiara, who's going to be our encyclopedia. As always, with all
Well,
the
I mean, I the
informations.
last couple of days, feel free to like press enter to get the game started while I tell this.
Yeah.
Um, yesterday, today I've been watching this show called Actually. It's this game show run by the people who made College Humor, but I think they're doing their own thing now. And it's a game show where it's nerds fixing misinformation about nerddom. So the host will make some statement about like, oh, in Game of Thrones, blah 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 happens, and one of the contestants has to hit the buzzer and go, actually, something really pedantic at midpoint. They have a Kickstarter going, and I just paid for the Kickstarter because I thought it was a great game, and I kind of want to do a version. I don't know who I can get together to play this game with me. Like not just the Kickstarter, the version they just made for the Kickstarter, but like an actual curated version where I find out, like if you were playing this with me, you and a bunch of other people, like, tell me what are you into, and then I'll make the questions based on it, because I feel like everyone I know is similarly pedantic, but for different reasons. So it's like everyone.
Yes, it's very much about like it's you are a nerd about something very specific. You may not be a nerd in the rest of your life, but I think everybody has like one thing that they are very nerdy about.
Yeah, like it actually is primarily like pop culture, although the final question is always a real life skills question. But yeah, it'll be fun to have like a version where it's not just like video games and movies or whatever, but it's also like science. All right, so we're back in court.
We're back in court to try and rescue Miles from himself because the man just doesn't talk to people, and this is what happens.
We might have a Rana coming to join us in chat.
Awesome!
Our one player. Not player, our one viewer. I am trying to spread the word. I feel like on Twitter, aside from when I was running Animal Crossing Fringe, I don't think anyone else really expects me to be much of a video game streamer, which is kind of sad.
Well, nobody expects anyone who is a game streamer to be a game streamer at the start. Hey, today's trial will end 3 minutes from now.
Fucking
role play.
Yeah, Von Karma is a control freak. Oh, good lord. Must you question everything? Yes, that's kind of his job. Can you imagine trying to speed run a legal case?
Well, that is what he's doing.
Yeah, but like in real life.
He's trying to speed run. Yeah.
But like in real life. Like, alright, we have a deadline.
So we were talking before about Eurovision.
Eurovision.
I am not a Eurovision fan.
You
Let's
say
see.
that, and before
I
we
say
started, you've
that,
run
but
through
I have
every last
a
country.
yes, I will do it again for the benefit of whoever is viewing. Because I am not a Eurovision fan, but my partner is. But also, most importantly, I do trivia nights every Tuesday night, and I want to be prepared for this Tuesday because I'm sure something about
There's
Eurovision
gonna
is
be
gonna come up.
Eurovision question.
And like in past years, they've had an entire Eurovision themed music round, so I need to be prepared.
Oh, we get your
And
trivia team to do a actually run.
huh?
Yeah, I feel like your trivia team might enjoy actually. Are all of them nerdy?
I think some people in our trivia team definitely would enjoy actually because they are a little bit like that actually, and it's like yes we know.
Well, there you go.
Can we
We have
move
the
on
game.
to the next question?
We have the game for them then.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. So like I don't mind watching Eurovision, but I don't have like all this background knowledge of like what it has been in the past 30 odd years or whatever. But my partner does. My partner knows all the music. He knows who won what. So yeah, it's very much like his nerdy thing.
I'm trying to find. There is a musical based on Eurovision. I mean, apparently there's been more than one, but I'm trying to figure out the one I went to see. Like this Eurobeat. Oh, I saw Eurobeat some years ago in Brisbane. It's like it's like an affectionate parody of Eurovision. And like the German act was basically the Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
Russian was very Russian. I think they like you could vote. I don't know if they pre-plan who actually wins. No, Russian was a boy band. It was like a very Russian boy band. One of the Slavic countries was like, the sort of traditional Slavic type situations. So it's like an affectionate parody of Eurovision. But it's fun, it's interactive, you can buy badges to show who you side on. And I just want to know if your partner has seen it because I loved it.
I don't know, I'll have to ask. Yeah, so this year's Eurovision, for those who did not watch, like it's going to be in a few hours from now, it's going to be live cast to wherever you're watching this from. In Australia, in Melbourne, it's 5 a.m. And it'll be the grand final. And they've been very COVID safe, so like what the Australian entry never got through to the grand final, but was the first person ever to perform without setting foot in the arena. Because they had to perform from Australia and broadcast.
Oh, so that's how they actually joined it. Like, where did they perform?
Tuesday in the
No, where?
In SBS studios. They were like right next door to the commentators. So we have commentators for each broadcast. So Australia has Mayfor host Joel Creasy, and they were in one studio, and Montaigne's team was in the other studio.
I am still slightly puzzled as to why Australia is in Eurovision. I guess it's because they're a big.
Everybody is slightly puzzled as to why Australia is in Eurovision.
Sure, but
nobody understands.
Nobody why. Like I get it's because you guys are such big fans. But
maybe
here's the thing.
Maybe it's something to do with like mass diaspora communities of Europe.
I think it's because Australia is just like a big fan of Eurovision, and so they're like, you know what, we'll get you in, and then it might have been slightly jokey, but it's real now. But the thing that gets me about Australia being Eurovision is that in the 90s, there is this television show called Asia Bagus or Asia Bagus, which was, I think, shot in Singapore, and it's basically Eurovision but Asia, right? And I'm not talking about this Eurovision Asia Pacific that SBS and Eurovision are producing but are somehow stalled in time. No, this was like mid-90s. I grew up watching this. It was shot in Singapore, and you had like musicians from across Southeast Asia and maybe beyond Southeast Asia. And it was kind of mostly a pop and rock, mostly bombastic costumes like Eurovision is. But no, it was like Australia, you could very well be in Asia Bagu's fried proximity, but it just goes to show you the politics of the world, where Australia, despite being geographically closer to Asia than anything, thinks it's part of Europe. It was like, what does this say about the world? About world politics that Australia thinks it's like, no, I don't want to integrate with any of the other places here. Don't ask
Australia,
us to
no, I,
integrate with the
I
local
think
culture.
no, I think it's more Australia wants to be part of every party, and because Eurovision doesn't involve Asia, like nevertheless they want to be part of Europe, and the
Yeah, but
Europe.
they don't want to be part of the party that is Asia Bagos. Like,
I don't know. Did anyone tell them to? I guess is my other question. Maybe because maybe the Asia people didn't want Australia
well,
there,
I don't know.
which is
It
fair.
was filmed, yeah, created by Fuji. Oh, it was like a joint venture between Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore.
Yeah.
But they've had contestants from Korea, Taiwan, Thailand. I watch this all the time.
So, like with the Eurovision, it's very interesting because, of course, okay, they've got Australia. They don't have America, like they're not allowing America in, and they won't allow other countries in. You have to be formally part of the European Union, I think, because it's the European Broadcasting Union. That decides
Unless you are Australia.
unless you're Australia. Yes. So Ireland performs separately, and then the UK surprises me
Oh
because
yeah, like how's the
if
UK now? Like, are they still? Is it? Are they? Did they not Brexit out of Eurovision?
no, they haven't they haven't Brexited because they're still part of Europe, right? So they're still in. So it's really weird, right? Because the European Broadcasting Union is the one who organizes Eurovision, and so Ireland is in. The UK is in, and I'm assuming if Scotland has a national referendum, they'll have to send their own person.
Well, the Ireland, it wouldn't include a would they have a Northern Irish contestant to represent Ireland, or would they be like, oh well, that's UK, because Ireland is its own country.
Yes, yes. So Ireland can send, but Scotland is trying to become its own country, right? So if Scotland does have go through with the referendum and everything and breaks off from Britain, then
Oh,
it because Scotland is still in the EU. So um we have this weird system where some other countries in the UK are still part of the EU and some aren't, and Scotland wants to break away from the United Kingdom Federation or whatever it is, right? And so if they do go through with their national referendum, presumably they send their own contestant, which is good because there's usually some committee down in London that decides who goes, and the UK hasn't won for ages. And it's so funny because there's a big five, um, which is the UK, Germany, France, Spain, and Italy. They don't have to go through a semi-final situation. All their contestants go straight through to the grand final.
oh yeah.
So they don't have. So we just had semi-finals on Tuesday and Wednesday, and they had to whittle the entries down, right? So they chose 10 people each night, so 20 people. So from about 30, 40 odd countries that participate, they have to choose 20 at the semi-finals, and then another five, these other big five, go straight through, and then the host country goes straight through. So if you won it 1 year and you hosted it the next year, you go straight through to the grand final. You don't get to go through the semi-final stuff, which I think it's a bit odd that the big five goes straight through. They should also like have to, you know, participate in the semi-finals and do all of
Right.
that stuff. So yeah, so that's what happens.
Mhm.
Germany this year sent somebody with a ukulele and somebody dressed up in a peace sign on stage, except occasionally might turn up, yeah, as a middle finger if we drop one arm down. So there are some you can play bingo. You can play bingo with Eurovision and go, is are there huge shoulder pads? Check. Are there pyrotechnics on stage? Check. Are there ballads go on forever? Check. Are there huge gigantic winds? Check. Like you can just play bingo. But
Wow.
what is really interesting is the grand final, because you get to see who votes for what. Like Ukraine and Russia will never vote for each other, for example, but all the Scandinavian countries will vote for each other. So there's lots of
Right.
politics behind things as
Oh
well.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, so that's always interesting. But in the semifinals, they pick at random who performs in the semifinals, right? So only the countries that perform in each semifinal. So like the 16 countries that performed on Tuesday could vote. So Australia could vote on Tuesday for which countries went through from that semifinal to the grand final. But
How would Australia vote? Like calling to Europe would be very
yeah,
taxing on
no,
your
no, this is what you do.
ego.
You text an Australian number, and this is why. So every country that participates has to have a radio station that can be involved because I think they collect the votes and send them on,
All right.
and then they have to broadcast the
Yeah.
show. And they have to have a celebrity whatever for the grand final, because the biggest thing of the grand final is when they do the voting, and then they do the tallies of the votes. They go to each country, and there's someone who pops up on screen who is the rep for that country and is a celeb of some sort, like um and goes, hey Europe, it's London calling, and that's the and here are the votes.
Right.
Like, London has chosen, and you're not allowed to vote for your country, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So that's one of the things. So that's why you see the politics happening, like,
My God. I
yeah.
wonder how much like actual real world politics has been affected in the
Oh my
I know
God.
there's been like like I just read about how there's been like some conflicts that played out over
Yeah,
Eurovision, but
yeah.
like whether like, oh, you did vote for my country, now we're going to start an actual war against you, like, can you, that's like
No, I
some
don't think there's been
Hunger
wars.
Games level bullshit.
I don't think there's been wars started, but I don't think, for instance, that Israel's entry will get far this year because
Oh
they sent a black
yeah.
girl this year and she's singing a song called Set Me Free.
Wow.
So, I mean, look, I
Wow.
think here's the important thing. I think you have to understand that, the artist does not represent the government view necessarily.
Yeah, but
Right, but I do also think somebody at government approved this. So in a way, for somebody at government level, it's a PR stunt.
yeah, this has to be some kind of soft power situation,
Yes,
like, but it's so on the nose, like,
yeah, yeah, and I think a lot of Europeans will be upset, rightly so.
wow. I mean, sometimes politics can still, like, people find a way. Like Miss Universe was also very recently, and apparently the Miss Myanmar contestant, she had lost her costume on the way to wherever. I think they were filming in the US. So she lost her national costume thing, but she showed up anyway, and she had a sign that says "Free Myanmar." That was her national costume. It's like, that is pretty brave and pretty significant to do it in Miss Universe of all places. Also, you've gone quiet. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear anything.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. So the last time, when Israel hosted before the Netherlands won, right? So
Mm,
that was the last Eurovision we had. So not last year, year before.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Israel was hosting. Madonna showed up for a guest performance and ended up having a free Palestine message on stage. So that was, yeah, a time and a half.
Mm,
Yeah, which was like typical.
God, can you
Yeah.
imagine? Like, this is getting into like possibly more political territory than I should dare to do. But if Palestine does get in, again, Israel is technically Asia, but like
Look.
Middle East
I
is
mean,
part of Asia.
yeah,
But
you got Turkey participating. You
yeah,
know,
Turkey's sort of a weird sort of double agent situation. But like, if Palestine did eventually gain enough independence, like, would they participate in Eurovision, or they will over to be like, fuck all of y'all?
I don't see why not, because you've got places like Serbia, Montenegro, all these
That would be
all these Czech Republic, or Czechia, as we are going to have to start saying soon. um Ukraine, for example, all these places, there were lots of places that were participating while the legitimacy of their nation statehood was being questioned, and all of that political stuff was happening. So you do see it pop up and everything. You got smaller places like San Marino. San Marino's tiny.
Yeah, but I'm just like the conflicts that even in places where it's like places that allow Taiwan to participate in its own entity, even if it pisses China off, like this.
Yeah, like there'll be lots of that sort of thing. And that's why it's interesting to see who votes for who and who
Yeah.
gives their votes to who, like even with like countries like Britain and Ireland, like who are they supporting, and France, who do they support in this whole thing. Like if it came down to about a few that you knew were probably going to be in the top five, like okay, who did they decide to support, like, and it's very interesting to see all of that. um like you could make a case like, Spain is one of the big five, but like, is there someone from the Catalan region that comes and performs separately?
Mm.
So there's all these little things. Um, it's so that I find that part interesting, definitely. So I can get into it as it were, but yeah, like some of the songs are not that great. Sometimes people win for staging, like they get Greece. I think has gone through for staging. I think they did their best, and the song is nice, but I don't think it's going to beat out song wise anyone else, unfortunately. But the staging definitely was. It was so simple and yet it was so novel, so it was pretty cool. And
Mm.
as I was saying earlier, before we started this, Ukraine came with throat singers and folk songs, and it just goes say yo, and I think you need something that people connect with, or people will find it easy to sing, that's catchy. Though as I say that, I'm remembering the time Finland's metal band won, and
Well, Finland has like a whole death metal culture.
yeah, they sent another metal band and they were like so over the whole thing, but yet again they got through to the grand final. They just propped their feet up on the couch and on the coffee table drinking beer every time the camera went near them. It was so hilarious. Switzerland was just eating. They were like, "Yeah, okay, we've done our performance. We're here now." It was just
We showed up.
yeah, we showed up, and they had the wins. Norway had this massive, had Tix, who sang about Tourette's syndrome. Tix is his name, um, and they were in a white pink jacket with like white furry wings. So they had the wings. Several people had pyrotechnics. Lots of people
Oh,
had
of course they did.
fancy
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah.
So there's a horn section in the British one. So yeah, they're quite interesting. And of course, Israel's one very catchy song, like it's a bop.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I'm not sure it's going to win. I think there were songs that were far boppier, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of ballads got through, but I don't think this is a year for ballads. Oh, but France has sent a really good song
Oh
called
yeah.
Voila, and it's like an Edith Piaf inspired number, so like a chanteuse. They've sent a chanteuse, and it's gonna be amazing. So
Nice.
look, we got to see a preview of that, so we'll actually see the big five compete um in the grand final in a few hours. And I am sorry because I've rabbited on about this and we have
Yeah,
testimony.
we haven't like you've gone from like the last time we did this, you were super paying attention to the game. And I was like, come talk to me. And now you're like, we're not paying
All
attention
right.
to the game at all. All right, so this is our caretaker dude, who thinks we run a pasta shop.
Well, I think I'm not sure he really has lost his memory. I think he's playing it safe.
He's keeping his cards to his chest and keeping his pasta close to his bowl. So yeah, Ed, Edgeworth is like, I heard the bags. Someone died. A man walks by the window. Plot twist, we got the jet. There's been like a few Ace Attorney cases where it's like the sort of not the deciding factor of the case necessarily, but like one of the twists. It's like, oh no, you got the gender wrong. That was not a man. Your point is invalid. Why did they even bother giving you the option to not cross-examine?
Well, because one Kama wants to wrap this up, so I suppose.
Yeah, but like in the game. I was like, oh, okay, you know what, Vodkama, you can have this one.
Like one Kama getting that easily upset at somebody just saying, I'm gonna cross examine as is my right. You're not a very good prosecutor. We're trying to railroad someone into not cross examining.
Ah, you can't back yourself up.
Okay, so I'm hoping at this point I can just press on everything without losing.
I'm waiting for like this special moment where like someone connected to this caretaker dude shows up on the podium.
Yes.
It is spoiler territory, but it's
I'm not
amazing.
sure if it's now or because this is.
It's gonna be this on this
Oh,
day.
is
I
this
think.
day 3? Is this day 3?
I think it's already getting to day 3. I think
Okay.
because we had like Laura, who just wasted our time. Oh, this is either day 2 or day 3, but yeah, I think it might be this episode because I think they like can't get anywhere with this guy. We're in a restaurant where I rent boat as usual. Do you even know your own cover story, bro? Oh man. So I've been having some health issues in the past little while, exacerbated by my chronically low iron, and I ended up in hospital a few days ago. I'm I was mostly fine. Nothing ended up being really the problem with me. But I was like, I really need iron. I'm going to get some spaghetti. I was really craving spaghetti bolognese. And I was just wandering around the city looking for where can I get some spaghetti. I really want the spaghetti. And I'm in Pellegrini's. I don't know if you know anything about Pellegrini's, Mari.
No.
So Pellegrini's is like this tiny little Italian place in the city.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it got in the news, like it's sort of like well beloved, but it got in the news because you know, like
Oh, is that the one where the owner died?
Yeah, the owner died in like the Burke Street
in the
the attack,
Street.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the owner died there because trying to protect people, and so you know they got extra love. It's like from that. But yeah, the thing is they have a house speciality is spaghetti bolognese, and you know you go in and I asked them like was there a menu because I had no idea how much anything cost there, and the server's like I am the menu. Oh, there's also a board. It's like you can have a spaghetti. You have spaghetti bolognese, I guess, with meatballs. Heck yes. So I'm like, all right, I'll sit down. I don't even care how expensive this is anymore. I'm just gonna have a spaghetti. And I got my spaghetti. I got a big bowl of spaghetti, but the meatballs were amazing.
Okay. So it was as advertised.
It was as advertised. They're an espresso bar, but I was not terribly impressed with the mocha. But I don't know if it's because I asked for decaf because this was like 7 p.m. And I don't know, something about the decaf beans just don't taste as good, or like whatever they use as their chocolate is not as good. So I was a bit disappointed. It's like you made a name for yourself by supposedly being the first place in Melbourne to use an espresso machine. Like, why is your coffee disappointing? Your meatballs are amazing. So like, yes, I had my spaghetti from an icon for the first time. it was interesting to go into a place where like you don't get a paper menu and you just kind of have to guess what the prices are. Like they were okay considering, but I was like, ooh, I just want to know if I can afford it or not. Like I'm sure if I asked the server, he probably could have told me, but it was like, you know, part of me is like, ooh, is there some etiquette about not asking for the price that I'm breaking here?
I don't know whether to keep pressing on all of these or whether there's something I can present.
Hang on, I mean, how would he know it was a man walking by his window though? Wasn't it so foggy? Yeah, he can't see what's going on. Not that as a comp. He wouldn't know anything about that. Like it's one of the photo. I feel like it's one of the photos from Lotta, because he'll be like,
Yeah.
how can you tell that's a man walking past your window? It could be bloody anybody for all we know. Yeah, you can't tell anything about the gender in any of these photos. But I think it's that.
I think it's something to do with the bangs because, like.
Oh yeah, because that like how many bangs? How many that gun?
There's one bang after midnight. Bang. Just after midnight. Yep. Okay. Then is it this one, which is because it was triggered by the first bang, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh, but that wasn't it. I think it's the. I think you get the right evidence in the wrong place. I think it's like you can't tell.
Is it Lotta's testimony? What is Lotta's testimony?
Oh, did you look it up?
Yeah, he heard two sounds just like gunshots just after midnight.
Ah, yeah, okay, so use that. Yeah, because I think the way they wrote the date on the caretaker was a bit confusing. Try that.
Okay.
You do that. Meanwhile, I'm gonna look up a walkthrough.
So he's saying 9th of the 24th.
Yeah, I think this is where it's confusing because it actually means like the 25th. In the same way that I have something happening at 2 a.m. tomorrow, which is actually like not that long ago from now. So.
No, I don't think we are losing. Oh, maybe. No, yeah, we lost that.
I'm looking it up because we'll be dying at this point. Well, try. I think it's the thing that it's the gender thing. You can't tell who it is when it's so foggy. But
we have to. I think I have to press this last one anyway.
Have you not pressed it yet?
Not this last one.
Okay, try it. Yeah. Oh, we are in day 3 of the trial. Ah, here you go. Could you see? There you go. Yeah, you can't see shit.
Ah, here fog was thick.
Aha, there we go. Can't see shit. What now? Von Karma should be Von Car banned. You can't see shit. You should press the new statement.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Dad. It's like conflict of interest. That Edward's boy. How do you know his name? Well, I guess you were paying attention in court. How do you remember it? You don't even know Phoenix's name. Hang on, what was the decisive evidence like von Karma?
No, not decisive. The way the witness said it was Edgeworth, it seemed very decisive to the judge.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
How do you remember Edgeworth and not my name? Well, yes. What's your problem now, Von Karma? When? With what?
Steve, I assume. I have no idea. I think Von Karma's pulling it.
Well, I mean, of course, Von Karma is pulling bullshit, but like, if I was Phoenix, I'd be like, how? Did he wash it in the river? His word all we have. You stay just proof. Poor guy. Do we have evidence? Yes, you can do. You can just like fight him on like how the logistics of wiping him the things would work. Help will come, but not in a way you expect. This bit. Is it? Oh no! Oh no! Edgeworth is being found guilty. Dun dun dun. No.
Wait, did we lose?
No, it's meant to happen. Well, hold on. Something amazing happens. Just you wait. Karma does not give you anything to do, but there. This is divine providence. In the name of.
Oh my god.
Larry Box! This? Okay. I've been holding on to this rant for a while because it's going to be spoilers. I might have mentioned it before on the show, but I don't know. I think Larry that gets done very dirty in the Ace Attorney series. They play him off, especially after, like in the first trilogy, he's okay. But like in the rest of all the 500 games in the series, he gets played as this very useless womanizer who's always causing trouble. And like, why is he even here? Nobody likes him. And yeah, sure, he's a buffoon. However, every time he shows up, he's actually the factor that decides the case in like Phoenix's favor. Like he saves the day. Bloody Larry saves the day all the time. And no one appreciates him for this. They all give him shit. But it's like, no, Larry remembers things. You know, he's remembering something very important now. He's a buffoon, yes. But they kind of play up the womanizer thing a bit too much in the later games as though that's his only personality trait. But it's like, he's an artist. He becomes an artist later on in the series. And his art seems baffling, and it turns out no, he's drawing something actually pretty logical. It's just people were trying to gaslight him out of it because no, we're gonna hide the truth. Larry deserves better. That's my bad. Larry deserves better. Larry deserves better respect. Come on, Phoenix. He's never made things worse. He never does. He's actually behaving like the most logical out of everyone in this game, which is you're gonna be stuck in court. Of course, you're gonna be a bit of a mess. But he never makes things worse. Laura Hart, on the other hand. Like, Larry never pretends to witness something just for the sake of fame. He's just like, no, this is what happened. Why would anyone listen to me?
Hey, to prevent an inaccurate verdict, like you usually do everything in your power to do anything but that.
Yeah, like, but Larry never lies. He says he might be mistaken sometimes, or just like, no, he was right.
Like I'm sounding off at the judge because the
Oh,
judge is
yeah.
like, oh, we must try to prevent any inaccurate verdict. I'm like, you would just happily sending him to the guillotine, like.
Oh, right, yeah. He got manipulated by Von Karma. You've already dealt with bloody red white from the first case, the second case of this. Yeah, Larry, come true. The actual lifesaver in so many cases. Trapped in the body of a fool.
Bit harsh.
The edge of your seat, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Like what? Like what? Yeah, looking for Seal. Ah, yeah, so he'd be around. But we also have the bag from the never mind, that's what it the air tag. No, the bag from the air tag happened a while before all this. Maya asks real quick. Another one. Maya actually more helpful but gets all the slack. Not the slack, all the flack. Not enough slack. Of course you can't think straight, Edgeworth. There's nothing straight about you. In the games where the investigation games where he's the main player, all these women are trying to flirt with him and he's just like, I do not understand what's going on.
Look, that does not necessarily mean that he's not into women. Because that's very common with a certain subsect of people who are into women.
I just feel like also in investigation games, he goes on and on about that man that changed his life. It saved him from certain ruin.
Well, okay, taken with those sorts of things, then yes. But I just
specifically this trial.
I just want to point out, though, however, that there are certain sectors or groups of people, rather, who are attracted to women who also can't tell when women are flirting with them.
And that people usually are also women themselves. Case in point, myself.
No, I wasn't talking about you.
Although my womanhood is questionable, but perfect trial, perfectly fair witness.
But like I mean, I've run into this issue before with friends, right? Who like mostly like I'm just hearing about it, right? But it's just like, you know, oh, do you think they did this, and this? Do you think they're flirting with me? And it's like, dude. Like, what the fuck? you you're like something like usually something bizarre, like it's been going on for 6 months, and like maybe moment two of like the first day they met, someone was flirting with them, and 6 months later they're like, "Do you think they're flirting with me?" kind of thing. It's just like, yeah.
I love how like Edward is like, Larry being a fool is exactly what we need because Von Karma. Von Karma's always been perfect. Who has expected a trickster fool like Larry? He has not planned for this exact scenario. See, Larry is a
Is
lifesaver.
Larry is an element of chaos, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's sort of he's like he's an element of chaos the same way I'm an element of chaos, in that neither of us are really intending to be chaotic. We just are. Like, I've managed to own it a little bit. Larry kind of just fumbles into it. He's not trying to be disruptive. He's not like Laura. He's not like old bag, where he's trying to like make a mark on the trial. He says literally, I've got something. I should have said something earlier, but I'm just saying because I'm gonna help. So he had a bang, and he went home. And in this very segment, one of the most famous Ace Attorney memes was created.
Oh.
You'll find out. I'm just like all the memes, but do I spoil it? There's so many things wrong. After 11, he went out in the boat. Everyone got home, sure. Yeah, so he can. I told you, man. I was like, well, tell the court. I was like, oh yeah, because he's being vague. Yeah, he's not like the most eloquent witness, but he never lies. That's surprisingly close to the truth. Let's see. I figure it was on 12. Human sundial. Used to watch it. Not anymore. I say because I look at my phone. Where did the sound come from? He looked around. Looked over the lake, but didn't see a boat. Okay. No boat on the lake. Just Larry's. Whoa. It's real foggy, so you can't tell. I mean, yeah, he's not lying. He's just the most important part of the case. Have you pressed all of it?
Yeah, I pressed everything.
Well, I guess the single gunshot is wrong because everyone has said it was 2 gunshots.
Do we have anything?
Laura said he has 2 gunshots. Oh, I don't think it's
probably that.
I don't think we have anything about like the thing being Gordy. That's sort of a
it might come up later.
Safe bag, yeah. Just said same thing. How many banks? Say witness. You gotta treat me now. Oh my god, Larry. You're not helping your. I'm trying to defend you, dude. You're not helping your case. You're thinking of something else. Ah, the meme. The meme comes by. The meme comes by soon. Radio. All right. Explain yourself, Larry.
Because it is Christmas Eve.
I think it's an all request on the radio. Ah, man, I was such a big radio fan when I was a teenager. A couple of radio stations knew who I was, but I was faxing them all the time. That was kind of requests. Alright, so anyway, DJ was saying, it's coming. Yeah, man, isn't it a free country? I know what the problem here is. Judge. A drum beat from something. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshots. What did the DJ say? You have to explain what the DJ is. Music. The songs between songs. Yeah. This one hear someone's voice. Aww. This guy would not survive quarantine. Yeah. Get on, get to the point, bro. Get to the You should care. How do you know you don't ask? Can you imagine? Like, why do you know you don't ask? It's almost Christmas! Here comes the meme. Here comes the meme. It does. It does. It does help. Dude is saving your life right now. Oh, did they not add the "It's almost Christmas" line? When did we hear the gunshots? Just after midnight. That's with the face. You look scary, dude. Are you sure? Take out some... The poor guy. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Also, Mario, you're quiet again. I can't tell if that's by accident or intentional.
Oh, muted myself.
There you go. Almost every Christmas Eve, that screenshot shows up. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Every
Almost
Christmas Eve. Every Christmas Eve, that screenshot. All over Tumblr and Twitter, wherever. Almost Christmas.
If we weren't kidding when we said creating Sierra in the encyclopedia.
Yeah. I mean, this case has a lot going for it. You have Larry saving the day, you have almost Christmas, and there is one other thing that happens in this trial. I think there's a lot that happening in this trial, so they have to do like 10 things at once, really. It's gonna be a long one. The current is being mistaken. No, he's not wrong though. You can't intimidate Larry. He's right, and we have proof for it. Because it's the one thing that I've been like, when are we gonna press this?
When are we gonna present it here?
Yeah, this one thing I've been like hanging on to for a while. They had a witness yesterday. Oh. But his photograph exists at all. Loud noises. Gordy came back. Can you imagine to try to subpoena the DJ? Dun. Oh, but he doesn't address the thing that I was concerned about.
3 gunshots.
The 3 gunshots, right? Well, what did the caretaker said he heard 2, right? Yeah, Laura also said 2. Yeah, but what are the loud noises what happened? I would have done something. Blown his nose. Oh, is it now? Is it now? Is it now? Are we finally presenting a damn gun?
This is the point at which you have to show the gun, right?
Finally, oh my god, I've been waiting on this gun for a while.
Yeah.
Something about this pistol has bothering. I am literally Phoenix in this situation. And it's not the last shot, it's the first shot.
Whatever. Yeah.
The plot twist. Exactly what did happen. Then is it the time where you turn thing around? He's figured it out.
So this is one of the few cases where you as the player does not actually know what happened from the beginning and who's responsible. So this is actually one of the few cases you play in this whole series where you're doing detective work as you go.
Well, I think this is true of
trying to solve the. Now we played this before, so we kind of know who's responsible, right? But like when you're playing this for the first time and you played all the cases before this, in the cases before this, there's a cutscene and you're usually shown who's responsible.
I think that's only true for the first case.
No, generally you have an idea, don't you?
The first,
it's true for the first case and the second case, and for
we had no idea until like with like the second day of the investigation.
Steel Samurai we didn't know.
Steel Samurai we had no clue. We
had no clue. Steel Samurai. We have no clue for this one. Like you see Edgeworth in the cutscene, right? You see that picture of Edgeworth with the gun. But then it's supposed to send you into a little bit of a panic tailspin when you first see it. We haven't played through it before.
Yeah, and like I guess in our live stream too, we skipped the Steel Samurai. Yes, so if you were following it via this, you don't know what he's gonna.
Yeah, what he's gonna talk about as well. So Steel Samurai is the case before this, and it's about a kids' TV show. And I think. What was the cutscene in that?
The thing with the Steel Samurai, not cutscene. What are you talking about?
No. It was actually the cutscene that's before the case started was actually meant to be like part of the episode of.
Oh, the Steel Samurai one. Yeah. It's just like introducing.
Part of one of the episodes, right? So in that you see like a little bit of like what the TV show they're talking about would have looked like. And then the rest of it is you trying to figure out who it is as you're preparing for trials. So there are some cases in the series where you know who it is and you're trying to work towards that, towards proving that it's them. But there are other ones like this one, I think, where you're like just floundering going,
well, the thing you do know is that it's like for almost every case.
Yeah.
You definitely know who you're like defending didn't do it. I say almost every case because this does get turned on its head in particular point, but I won't say cause spoilers. But you can usually assume whoever you're defending has not done it.
Well, you have to because that's like if you know, then you can't.
Yeah, but that's all you have to go on.
Yeah. So the same characters keep popping up over and over again as well. So Steel Samurai people are gonna come back in other cases as well. So,
yeah. The murder case had the same idea as this. So will they explain what the same idea is? Oh well, we're all Maya.
Framing somebody else by disguising the fact that they were there.
There's something about the costume change that was important.
Yeah, it was a timing thing. It was like making people believe something that happened at a different time.
But I think also the thing that was significant was that he turned out to be the victim, but like it's the guy who ended up being killed wore the costume of the original suspect to try and frame him, but then he because he was out to do a murder, but then he got killed instead. So it was basically a case of like false identity situation. But so that's what Phoenix is getting at, is that someone's pretending to be somebody else. We have nothing to lose. Except Edward's life, you know. Dun dun dun. I like how Phoenix just like thinks for 5 seconds. Ah! Then doing it chord, he starts screaming. I just figured it out. And a boat, yeah. Well, there were 2 boats though. Larry's was there too. They're making one big assumption about the events on the boat, which I think Phoenix is going to point out in 5 seconds. Is that well?
Yep.
That.
And this one Karma has a doctored autopsy report.
That's where Miles did it. The photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. Yes. Yeah, we got that. Dun dun dun. That's the only way. But then who was on the boat? Wow. They're gonna like. Are you quite bad? The murder and Hammond. Edward was not there at all. Edward is dead.
Oh, thank God, I wasn't entirely sure.
You weren't sure? Who else could it be?
Well, I don't know. Maybe Hammond was. Maybe they think they shot at. They propped him up, and shot at him.
I mean, that is a very Ace Attorney way to do
But
things.
purposely missed the body because they didn't want to leave 2 gunshot holes, right? But
where was Edgeworth in any of this? Just not there. Although propping the body up is a very Ace Attorney. The objecting to me.
How could he not know? I'm sure he did know. Worked with.
He was a child. Do you remember people you met for like
the
5
man
seconds?
was still working, wasn't he? Wasn't he still an attorney while Edgeworth was an attorney?
I don't know. Did they ever cross paths?
The man was still working though.
We don't know that.
Up until he died?
We don't know that.
Oh, okay.
We don't know that. Why asking him for the Laura Hart actually killed everyone? No.
What did I say?
Well, it's you don't know. We don't know the murderer's name yet. I mean, we know because we like know the game, but in universe, we do not know this. He had never told us. The old man, the caretaker. You don't need a boat, bro. We're gonna go all the way out the lake to
Yes,
kill
there
someone.
was. There was. Larry's boat was there.
Well, yes. That everyone keeps forgetting Larry was on the boat. Right?
I think this has confused the actual writers of the case.
Probably,
They
yes.
tied themselves up so much.
So they forget. That's why they're like, there was no other boats. Larry is there.
Look, crime fiction is very hard to write, okay?
Yeah, I've been like stopping and stalling on like a couple of crime fiction-y type stories. Mostly because I like plotting them out, but trying to make them into cohesive narrative is
Trying to figure out when people will know
things,
find
yeah,
out
and
things,
how to
work out
explain
things,
the things,
what red
yeah.
herrings, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
In
And
case
oh,
you
I
didn't
just
know-
like the actual prose around it.
in
Just
case
like
you didn't know, though, I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably already know because I live stream about it here. Like I live stream twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. Melbourne time, and I talk about writing. And
yeah, because you're an actual
I am
proper
writing
crime fiction writer.
Yes, I'm writing crime fiction right now, and you can watch me pull my hair out.
What do you make of the crime, like in terms of a crime fiction writing? What do you make of the Ace Attorney games?
Wait, what was I supposed to do?
Point where the shooting happened.
Ah.
Well, if the caretaker killed Hammond not in the lake, where would he be?
Okay.
There you go.
Hopefully.
No, not close. No. I think you're in the right vicinity, but I think you don't need to go the other way because you need to be within earshot of Laura's camera.
Okay. So closer to the camera. Okay.
Still around the caretaker shop, but closer to the camera side.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes the game is like weirdly precise. Around there, I think, yeah.
Oh, like.
Because you need to triangulate for Larry being on the lake somewhere and Laura's camera being set off. Because I don't think Laura's camera has that big a radius.
Here in the woods here?
I think close to the house.
Yeah?
Yeah, around there-ish, yeah. Or like maybe in the house, I don't know. But somewhere where the camera could pick it up. Is that it?
Who knows? No.
Not close. Is this one of those things where it's like the game needs you to be like in that exact corner?
Yeah, I think so because like. Okay.
You need to actually present the shop, like not around the shop, but like the actual shop.
Actual shop, right? Just at the shop itself.
Yep.
Oh, is that why things were clean? Some things were clean, some things weren't in the shop.
Ooh, maybe, I don't know. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So we had the right idea. We're just pointing at the wrong pixel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because otherwise Larry and Laura would be like, "What the fuck's happening?" You had to be indoors. Let's play Battleship. This is starting to head for home.
He
hears the gunshot.
Okay.
Even though he was wearing headphones at that time, so he had to be pretty close. Oh, so Larry was already off the lake at that point, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Larry had like worked out something had happened and just checked the boat shop and saw a murder happen?
Mm.
Larry could have just solved this so quickly. I mean, to be fair, I don't know how much I would investigate if there was a gunshot. Where I used to live, that would be random bangs, and I was like, is someone
Mm.
shooting? Yeah.
That reminded me of something one of my friends told me. So I grew up in during Civil War times, right? And I was in the capital, so it was reasonably somewhat safer. Except we used to have curfew. We used to have um, suicide bombers turn up from time to time,
Oof.
and all this stuff, right? So,
Yeah.
but we weren't in the actual war zone. War zone. But years later, I'm talking to someone from, was it someone from, not someone from my school, but someone from a school like that I'd known through family friends and stuff, like Colombo's very small.
Mm.
And he was talking about how he had gone back home to work in an office at some point. So he was working in an office in Colombo, and he was working with a lot of expats, so foreigners
Mm.
who had not grown up there. And like he realized that, you know, they would at the any sound that sounded like a potential gunshot, they would be diving under their desks with their
Right.
passports in their hands, right? Because they've been all like trained on how to deal, what to do in an emergency. And he's just sitting there going, nope, that was the motorcycle backfire, that was the gun salute
Yeah.
from the prime minister's residence. Because there's like some things like there'll be a gun salute at a certain time every day, or like with stuff like that. Like, so you, and he was like, I did not realize how much unconsciously I knew, like sound wise, what was a gunshot and what wasn't, and what was
Mm.
a gunshot that I needed to be worried about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like they're all thinking, oh my god, bomb, and like diving under the desk. I was like, wow, no, that's true. That's true. Sudden loud noises also do bother me. Like you don't realize how much sudden, like people. I used to think people, like when they're doing the dishes in the sink and it's clanking, like that they're mad at me, and I'm like, I never made that connection, but that's like post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
and that like we all know instinctively that's a noise to be worried about, or that this is a noise to be worried about, or that's just a car backfire, that's a gunshot, but that's not the kind of gunshot you should be worried about, or whatever, like that sort of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and until he said that to me, I was like, oh my god, yeah, you're right. I also know. Yeah, it's very strange. It's yeah. So who knows? Like if I'd been in Larry's position, I probably wouldn't have thought much of it.
Yeah, but I don't think Larry grew up in a war zone.
But like I wouldn't have been like, I would have definitely known it was a gunshot. I might not have thought twice about it, but I might have like definitely known it was a gunshot, like as opposed to a bang of indiscernible origin.
Mm. All right. So costume change. Well, the caretaker. It was mid Edward on purpose to get attention. The details. The details. As I say, the moment you lose G's.
Create a witness, duh.
Yeah, duh. Yeah, duh. They said that anyone who had the shot would look at like, yep. Then he falls.
Or maybe he did.
Well, I mean, if he did, he wouldn't need to shoot twice. With the body into the lake. It's interesting how it did not work out. Like, where was the body you found in relation to everything else that happened? Like, how far into the lake is it? Did the float?
Come on, he might have floated around a bit.
Do dead bodies float?
Hmm.
Bring out the witness from before. Hey. Uh-oh. The witness from before. Here is Edgeworth. Oh no, there's one more trial. I'm sorry, that's not. So the other thing that I was hoping would happen. That's not one day. This is day 3. Astrology so actually. So, who are you accuse you at? Me or Edward?
Edgeworth. How dare you? How dare you underestimate your childhood friend? Oh my god.
Edward does not understand how feelings work.
But no, every time Edgeworth looks to the side like this, it's because his instinct. We have discovered this.
He's like, people care about me? What is this? What is this love? I do not understand.
Okay, see the letter.
Finally, the bloody guy. Yeah, everyone makes fun of Larry being the fool, but who is the bigger fool? This guy.
Oh my god, this man.
Could have solved all of these problems if you talk.
Why the hell do you take this on yourself? Why did you not tell somebody that the letter had come and then like, oh my god, people could have said.
Because he's a fool!
You're a lawyer yourself. You must understand the importance
He's
of
a-
having a witness for every freaking thing you do.
He's a bloody fool, is what it is. He's the actual fool, not Larry. Still. He's gone.
Wonkamer doesn't care. That's Wonkamer's plan.
No one doesn't care about anything. Yep, verdict withdrawn.
Oh my god, what?
One more trial day.
I thought
Well,
this
but they
was-
can't find the guy.
I thought this was the last trial day.
Nope, I thought so too, but nope. You can only have so much drama happening. Yeah, because I need to figure out this dude's deal now.
Mm-hmm.
I want him and I want to know who he is. That's a dating app line for you.
Oh, let's again. Okay.
Hey, you did it. The guilty feeling. What about Larry? Yeah, Larry. Yeah, Larry Fed Squad. The fact that he is a buffoon helped us in the situation. This is the wild thing.
Yes, you always need a Hail Mary, Phoenix. You always
Or a
need
Hail Mia.
well, yes, a Hail Maya or a Hail Mia.
Hail Larry in this case.
Oh, Edgewood looks sad. Wait, what? What?
Edward has feelings. Did you say something? That looks so pained. That looks so angsty. My God, Maya. Oh. This has been troubling me for a long time now. Ooh. My unnecessary feelings.
You know, Edgewood, if you keep frowning like that, you're gonna need Botox, otherwise you're gonna get wrinkles all the time.
Bold of you to assume he doesn't already get Botox.
I don't think so.
Oh, just a little time. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but I am in love with you. I mean, this is a line that also, but that and the unnecessary feelings are the worst. Shit. Nightmare.
I do feel like sometimes I'm in a dating sim.
Well, I think they did like they do
A
semi-deliberate.
memory of a crime that I committed.
Memory of a murder. Hey, we have one more. What crime did Edwards actually commit here?
Oh well, we know.
We know. We know because we've played this.
Yeah, we know because we played this. Are we playing the next bit also now?
It's gonna be quite long, I feel like.
Okay.
And I've got a thing at 2 a.m.
Oh jeez. Right. Yes. It's so
So you
funny
might.
because I'm doing some sub editing for some people right now. You can go check it out. They got the National Ethnic Multicast. No, hold on. I'm gonna try again. National Ethnic Multicultural Broadcasting Council, and they have a Facebook page. And every day we do a radio news bulletin that's 5 minutes long on all the COVID updates and news you need to know in Australia, and it goes out and gets translated into different languages. So if you go to the Facebook page every day, you should be able to see the update in English and no, you should get hold of an audio file that has updates in different languages. So there'll be one audio file for Chinese and one for Korean and one for Japanese and one for Arabic and so on. So like today I had to write a Eurovision story.
That's why we're all ranting
and
about
and
Eurovision
at,
earlier.
so at 5 a.m. today, later today, I'm going to be up and reporting on the Eurovision Grand Final from my couch for the radio bulletin. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I think that's quite funny. Not what I expected to be doing, but the reason we're doing it because it was affected by COVID this year. Because last year's winner was going to perform in the grand final and apparently has now tested positive for COVID. And Montaigne, who was Australia's contestant, could not go because of Australia's restrictions around COVID and travel. And so had to be the first person to perform.
sort of like live streamed or something.
Yeah, perform from a distance on a video. But also Iceland tested, they were there but tested positive. So and it was the rehearsal performance that got recorded that had to. I think they did this for every contestant anyway. When they did their rehearsals, they recorded performance just in case, and then someone tested positive for the Iceland band, and they didn't want to perform without him. So they just said use our recorded performance, and they still got through to the final.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, and I like them. They came in very daggy blue and yellow specters with the trans flag as well. And yeah, it was quite cute. So I think that was my favorite. So yeah, so because of that, I had to report on Eurovision, which is quite. It's just funny to me. It's just hilarious. But I guess there's also a lot of diaspora communities who are keen on Eurovision in Australia, so it makes sense. Yeah, it's just quite bemusing to me.
It's like, here's some COVID news, and also here's Eurovision.
Yeah, we had space for like one good news story in each bulletin, and so Eurovision was it today, and Eurovision will be it tomorrow as well. So yeah, it's just quite funny to me.
Yeah, you're reporting Eurovision. I am working on the first day of our incubator, the Works incubator. It is for emerging experience design projects, and I'll be working on a thing, I guess, semi-soft launch today, calling Professional Fairy Godmother. So you think like Make-A-Wish, but for everybody.
So yeah, that's it. I think this is one of the interesting things about like finding people who do stuff online. So you found us doing this Phoenix Wright playthrough, but like you can also, there's no reason why you can't go check out any of the other projects that we're also doing. So what other projects are you doing right now? Like explain this Phoenix. Why am I saying Phoenix? This Professional Fairy Godmother.
Phoenix Fairy Godmother!
I just got Phoenix.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Capcom, feel free to be one of my first clients.
Yeah, just tell people about your fairy godmothering thing if you can, if you're allowed to. I don't know what is.
Well, I mean, I am allowed to. Nothing's embargo anymore. But yeah, like Odyssey Works is a US-based arts collective whose whole thing is that they make really immersive performances, but specifically for one person. And so they're incubate. When I heard about it, I was like, this is how my dream job and my dream birthday present all in the one package. So the Professional Fairy Godmother is kind of like inspired by that, but also just based on how do I turn my love language into a business. And yeah, so the incubator is for like emerging experience design projects, of which I'm one of them. We start tonight, and it's US time zone, hence me needing to be up at 2 a.m. And I thought I'd get one more sleep in, but apparently I missed that. So
yeah, you just realized it's not.
I just realized it's actually like in the
not
next
2
few hours.
2 a.m. like Sunday going to Monday. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember we did an interview sort of before I got accepted, and they were like, you do realize these people that they were very worried about the time zones, because apparently last year they had another Australian who I turned out I knew personally, who they said she struggled with the time zones, and I was like, look, I know what I signed up for. I'll regret it in 3 weeks, but I know what I signed up for. And then I like got in touch with the person they're talking about, and she was like, I just did it. Like, I don't know what strategy I could tell you. I just powered through with a lot of caffeine, but it's worth it. It's like they were very worried about you. It's like, oh, she was very surprised to hear that. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, you can always check out all the different projects. So it's creatrixtiara.com, the best place to find you.
Yeah, pretty much. Or just any social media platform. Look for Creatrix Tiara. That's
You cannot find me, unfortunately, on Twitter at the moment, but you
yes. Something's happened.
Something's happened. I've been suspended, and I don't know why. It's been out of the blue, and nobody's told me why and how to fix it. So we're still waiting to see what's gonna happen. You can see me live stream here. Next week I'm not here because it's my week off, but you can go back and have a look at everything. But there's also Mari's Place and the Mar's YouTube link. They're all on the profile page, Twitch, so you should be able to find them. And you can watch the previous live streams if they're not up here anymore because Twitch only holds them for 2 weeks. You can go look at all the live streams of me tearing my hair out about crime fiction and trying to write it. And like very recently, like I got very excited because I got a rejection from an agent, but I've been talking to other people about what agents to send my books. It's been very exciting, so that's gonna start happening soon. Apart from that, I don't think I'm really involved in any other big projects at the moment.
You need a break, is what you need.
I need a break, yes. There are things I'm involved in, but they're not necessarily things I can talk. Like I'm involved in the union, and a lot of projects within the union I'm doing that people will find out about in due course. So yeah, just all sorts of stuff. So we will be back next Saturday, pending health issues.
Pending health, yes. Yeah, that's why.
So apologies for us not being around for the last couple of weeks because both of us have had pending health issues.
Our bodies were not friends. Thanks to Rana for hanging out. Yeah. And us Druid Wolf has just followed you.
Sorry, what?
You just got a follower.
Hi!
Us Druid Wolf. I do not know who that is, but hello.
Hi! Thanks for following. I'm glad you dropped by. I am sorry because we've just like wrapped up for today, but you can go back and watch the stream and let us know what you think. Comment away because we talk about Eurovision and we talk about Phoenix Wright and we talk about all sorts of things. But we are hopefully going to be back 7:30
ish. Pending life.
Pending health issues next Saturday.
God.
Which will be next Saturday will be what? 30th? 30th, no? 29th?
29th.
29th, yes.
29th.
And we're ticking down to Grace Ace Attorney being revealed.
Yes, we're trying to work out if I can get it off my PS4 and get Marissa to see it on my end.
Yeah, like I am very excited because there are so many other games coming out, and like just this past week, the Sims 4 is now doing kits, which are these smaller bite-sized releases, and they finally, after having a few swatches in game since base game since like 20 years ago. Is it 20 years? No, that's 20 years of the Sims. Sorry, since Sims 4 was first released as a base game. We have a full-on Moroccan-styled pack of wallpaper, build objects and things, and so you can actually finally do a proper Moroccan build instead of having to fudge it with whatever you've got and a few Moroccan-inspired things. Because I've been dying to build courtyard type places in that sort of courtyard-inspired architecture in the Sims 4 for ages, and now I can. But I'll have to go buy the kit. The other problem with The Sims 4 is, like I said, I don't have a gaming rig yet because it's expensive, so I'm saving up for it. And I'm playing on my laptop, so there's a limit now to how much I can put on my laptop and play, especially with The Sims 4 with all the DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very frustrating.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to see if we can get
Grace
Ace Attorney running on my end.
But in a couple of weeks, just a couple of weeks, like not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday afterwards, they're dropping the first of what they say is going to be like 3 game pack releases over the summer.
Ooh.
And it is the trailer dropped like 2 days ago or something, and it's an interior decorator career.
Ooh.
So you actually get your sim to go around and like change other people's houses.
Well.
Like you have to ask them what they want and everything, and then you have to like change their houses within a budget. So there's lots of Sims 4 players who are builders who don't usually do much with actually playing the game. They just build, and now they're like so excited because they get to actually play the game in a way that they like, because they're not interested in the other careers, but they like building. They usually build lots of lovely houses and everything. Now they're like, oh my god, I can build, but now I have a reason to play with the sim now and go through the whole game and everything. So it's just, it's interesting. I think I would like to try that out. There's just been also a paranormal stuff pack drop as well, which allows you to take up ghost hunting as a career.
Ooh, ghost
So
hunting.
and to have seances, and there's a seance table and everything, and like a new haunted lot trade. I mean, you used to have ghosts were there in the base game, and they would turn up and haunt you anyway and break all your stuff. But now you can actually do a little bit more with them, and you can like banish them, and you have like all sorts of creepy coralies showing up, and yeah, and you get to go around people's houses and like de-ghost them, as it were. So you get to play as like a little mini Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening now. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is gonna drop, and so we're trying to play through a few things with the Ace Attorney series before that drops, because like, but Tiara has gone and watched playthroughs in Japanese. So
No, it's, there's a
Tiara
localization, like a fan localization of it.
will know half of what is going on.
I have some idea,
and
but
it's going to be like, if I'm the one playing it, it's going to be all like, yeah, this is what you do next, and I'm just
look, I do not know how much would have maybe changed in between localization, because this is a fan localization that I watched.
Okay, right. So yeah, because now what they're dropping is the actual English localization.
Actual proper,
because it's been out in Japanese for ages.
A while, yeah.
Yeah.
Few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And none of us thought it would ever happen in English, and then suddenly it like happened. So and there might also be bonus cases, which I would have no idea about. So
yeah. So the one we're playing now, of course, as you can see on the screen, is the trilogy.
The OG trilogy.
Yeah, the OG trilogy, and then there are 2 other games after that, and then there's this set, if I've got that right. And this set, the Great Ace Attorney, is from the point of view of, isn't it Phoenix's ancestor, or were you saying it was Edgeworth?
Phoenix's ancestor.
Phoenix's ancestor. I thought it was Edgeworth.
No. Edgeworth has his own games. Edgeworth has his own 2 games.
So those are the other 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
one has been localized, one hasn't. But Edgeworth has 2 games where he's the lead, and it's not in court. It's more like a detective-y type game.
I think we need to play those. I want to.
Yeah, but they have to. I do not know how to get it so that all of us can stream it. Though, it's a problem.
Oh, like, so this one, so Phoenix, the trilogy, you can actually get on Steam, and it has been ported to the PC. So most of these games are originally made for PlayStation.
No, most of these, they're made for all sorts of random consoles. A 3DS was like where they made a lot of them. The Edgeworth games are mobile and 3DS, I think. Because I know the first game, the English localization is on mobile, and I possibly 3DS, because I played on mobile. The second game has not been localized. There is a fan localization that you can play either via 3DS or like on an emulator. But it's sort of the tricky thing with like, they've only ported the first trilogy on PC and all the consoles. There's 3 other games in like sort of the second half of the main series, which are on mobile and I think on like 3DS, but not anywhere else yet.
Well, it might be possible to actually broadcast the mobile screen. We'll have to look.
There is, the trick is, how do I get you to see it? How do I get the other person involved?
So we will have to work.
That's what we're trying to figure out with the Great Ace Attorney. Like, if I played on my PS4, how does Marie see what's going on?
It might have to be a weird Zoom call share screen situation again.
Possibly, yeah.
Again, I think the reason why we're not doing this on OBS, and the reason why you don't see our faces, is because like it's just too many inputs into the system at this point. So this is just much easier, and I wager that if you plugged in someone's mobile and shared that screen, we watch the same thing. So I can see a way around that. Now, when the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles drops in July, I believe it's dropping for PC on Steam as well. Because
that's dropping on.
I got excited about it simply because A, English, and B, Steam. Which meant that we didn't have to do this.
That one, and that's why people think, because the Great Ace Attorney is also now being ported to different places, they
That
like
does
a hint
slowly
that
do all the others.
yeah, but we don't know yet. Also, Earth Druid Wolf says they love this series and love urban exploration.
Urban exploration.
I guess that's what they're into. And Rana said, I spoiled myself for most of Ace Attorney Investigations by playing it in Japanese. Look, if you're playing it, I do not know if that counts as a spoiler.
Wait. They spoil. Say that again. They spoil.
So
what?
Rana said, I spoiled myself for most of Ace Attorney Investigations by playing it in Japanese. And I'm like, that doesn't really count as a spoiler.
Yeah, you played it in Japanese.
You played the game. like I guess you kind of maybe spoil the experience of playing it in English, which is what I'm going to be finding maybe with the Great Ace Attorney. But I don't think that really counts as spoiling yourself. Or like, oh no, I spoiled myself by reading the book. Yes, but Abandoned Places is urban exploring.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is. Oh, I thought you already knew, but yeah.
Oh,
I guess people are just sharing what they're into.
That's so cool, though. That's really cool. You're into that. I know someone. I'm working with someone who's into parkour, and it's very interesting when people come across these like different interests, and you get to like learn about like this whole thing that maybe you were only like sort of it was on the fringes of your interest before, right? And maybe you'll never get into it in the same way they were, but like you can at least learn a little bit about it by then just jabbering away to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just suddenly have this section of trivia in your head that's just like, I mean, that was how the Eurovision thing started. Like I said, my partner is heavily into Eurovision, and so now I know all these unnecessary facts about Eurovision. Like, and it's just bizarre and weird, but it's enjoyable in that way. Like, you just suddenly get to know all this stuff about various interests and things that you would have never known otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's urban exploration sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I would have thought it would also be a little bit creepy because sometimes you're going into abandoned warehouses and you could just like
I mean, that's an appeal for some people. They said they do earthing, which is walking barefoot. I used to know someone who did that all the time.
Oh, so wait, do you? I hope you don't combine the urban exploration.
I think they do both at the same time, or some. I don't know.
Well, I would assume that there are some places in the urban environment where you'd have to watch where you walk.
Probably. That's why it's an exploration.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is that to kind of like ground yourself?
I guess not the same time. Okay, Earthrid Wolf is clarifying they don't walk barefoot while urban exploring at the same time.
Oh, okay. Well,
I do earthing at Bring First Aid, so there you go.
You do earthing and what?
Bring First Aid. So.
Oh, okay, right. So you're the medic in this situation.
Well, that's what I'm just reading what the chat is saying. Does exploring basements count? Asked Rana. I mean, Rana has a whole bunch of games. Rana is like a really cool games writer too, and a bunch of your games, Rana, are kind of like urban exploration based, aren't they? They're like,
I mean,
spooky urban exploration. Anyway, are your games?
Yeah, so. I can see if the basement is abandoned, then yeah.
This has now become the urban exploration wrap-up chat.
Yeah,
somehow.
Like they happen in nature trails and through your town. Oh wow! I have seen some games definitely that do have a lot of the backgrounds are very much those sorts of scenery. A lot of these games that are trying to recreate the adventure game scenario, but with a sort of Dan Brown spin, like Secret Society or something.
Oh yeah.
And it's never quite that great. There's always some secret society involved or whatever. Like,
the plot is that the society is not secret at all. It's just everyone thinks it's too obvious.
Some people hear me say earthing, and I'm like, wow, didn't know there was a term walking barefoot. Like I think it's cool if you're walking barefoot on nature trails in your town and stuff. Like, yeah, it's a very different. I think I can understand that it's a very different experience
Yeah.
to like walk through a landscape without shoes on and like there are definitely times when I want to run over grass barefoot and stuff, and
Mm.
I don't do it here in Australia. And the reason for that is actually I can't. I find that most grass I sit on in Australia, I have to be very careful that it doesn't touch my skin, otherwise I start itching.
Oh, you're allergic to Australian grass.
Most Australian turf and grass, like when it has been landscaped, definitely. So I could probably walk through a field fine, but I can't walk through anything that has been landscaped and like turf brought in or grass, because there's something about it. And like whereas back home I could probably walk barefoot anywhere. So back home, when I say back home, I mean Colombo, Sri Lanka, which is where I'm from. I could probably walk barefoot most places. I could probably walk barefoot in the garden.
Meanwhile, I don't
I'd
think
be
I could
fine.
walk barefoot in Malaysia because my feet will burn. And it's not very pedestrian friendly as a country to begin with. Like I would get hit by a car.
Australia is poisonous. Like rather, it's just like Australia is poisonous. Full stop. Way too.
Fields cut is even your back. I don't have a backyard. I mean, I'm barefoot in my house, but I don't have a backyard. I have a balcony. But yeah,
Like,
I've walked around barefoot in the city before, like when my shoes have fallen off. It's just like or the heels are broken. It's like it's way easier to just walk.
yeah,
Like even with the glass, it's just like why shoes? Why
yeah,
bother?
I have definitely done that. Where I have taken my shoes off and just walked, and everyone else is terrified for me. Like, oh my god, you're wearing up to your feet and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm not stupid. I can avoid everything.
And it's almost easier to navigate sometimes.
Yeah, like it's like, look, I'm, you might have had 3 drinks, but I'm usually the sober one. Like, it's just like, don't worry about it. So yeah, like the only thing that would bother me is that usually the pavement is very cold at night, and then my feet freeze a little bit. You're walking barefoot like that. Like, and I like how Rana is like just encouraging the stereotype that Australia is completely dangerous.
I mean, that's kind of like a requirement for Australian citizenship at this point.
If people trying to say things to you, I can imagine. People usually try to say things to people who are doing anything that's perceived as outside of the norm. The norm being in like quotation marks. But yeah, whatever is the norm is very subject to change over time. So very daft to perceive a norm as not being changeable. But yeah, people are not very accepting of what is outside the norm. Oh, I love the Look, I see that emoticon that they just put in the chat, and I think, okay, that is a no-face smile. I'm not sure if that's just how it's showing up on my end.
It looks like a robot, smiling robot.
Oh, okay. So like, yeah, it could be a mask. It could be a no face. It could be a robot. I'm not even seeing the robot part, but okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were wrapping up. What?
I know, we just like got caught up in like talking about things.
Oh, we got caught.
But this is a great conversation.
Yeah,
Thanks for the prompt.
Yes, thanks for the prompt. No, like anything that helps your mental health, as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this stream started up because we were both. This was gonna help our mental health too. Like we started during quarantine.
We did. If you go to Maori Still Plays, you'll see the first attempts at just doing videos, which I recommend you watch on 1.5 speed.
Oh yeah, it took so long.
No, it's faster, but it's also funnier.
Yeah.
I mean, do try to talk faster now, but like every time I watch back one of the live streams, I'm still like, I could need to go a bit faster. And you can change that, so when you do watch the live stream, like feel free to watch it at 1.5. I don't mind. I often do that to catch up with the stream series as well. Yeah, so we started this because Some people were climbing the walls during the isolation. Names shall not be mentioned.
Certain people that we may or may not know.
Yes. Yes. Very much so.
I wish I could. I wish I had walls to climb.
I like
They've solved half my problems.
and some people were very I don't know how it even came up, but for some reason it did. Like we were talking about ACNHFRINGE a lot at the time, because as previously mentioned, walking encyclopedia. I'm resident expert on all things. I just like the game. It's like, somebody here knows all the law, has a book of law. Yeah.
Go on like hard quiz, and this is my you got hard
Why
quiz.
Why don't you go on hard?
I have auditioned for it one time. I didn't get through, but this was also before I discovered Ace Attorney. So maybe I'll try again. Like, hey, remember me? I've picked a new special interest now.
What was your special interest prior to Ace Attorney?
Internet culture.
Yeah,
but I think it must have been like
that's too broad.
Probably,
that's too broad.
That or like Darren Hayes was like the other one.
No, there's too many people who have like a Darren Hayes special interest.
Who? Not anyone.
No, I'm pretty sure that Darren Hayes is a more popular special interest.
No, people don't even remember until you go the guy from Savage Garden and they go, oh, yes, that guy. Whatever happened to him?
Just about to say he's the guy from Savage Garden.
Yeah, but that's what, people don't even remember his name. They're like, who the fuck is he? It's like Savage Garden. Oh, okay. No, not too many people, clearly.
But there will be Savage Garden fans.
There are fans, but you want to talk about lore. Well,
there's lore about Darren Hayes. Actually, don't start. I don't want to know. Because we will be here forever. Right? Yes. And I do not want to get co-opted into something similar to do with Darren Hayes.
Well, yes,
because then Darren Hayes is going to show up, and I'm gonna be like, sorry, I enabled this child.
It's fine. He'll be on your side if that happens.
What?
Just like, what is wrong with this child?
Do you want to? I mean, I don't know how much I should say about your Darren Hayes special interest.
We can like keep it to the next episode. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. But
so yeah, next episode next Saturday 7:30, and we'll see you there. Sorry, it's taking us so long to sign up.
Yeah, it was like taking longer than the actual game.
Thank you to Rather Strange for chatting, and you, Earth Druid Wolf.
Yay!
Earth Druid Wolf would like to inspire people to follow in their footsteps with earthing. I like the pun. So yes, well done. And we'll see you all hopefully next week, pending health issues.
Alright, see yas. Hey, look at that.